Gaming video channel dedicated to serving the massive sports wagering and fantasy audience. Found on major platforms serving the smart TV market, SportsGrid's real-time data transforms viewers into informed sports enthusiasts. Get the best in game live coverage during all the games, as well as the most in-depth pregame previews from hosts like Scott Farrell, Donnie Rightside, Ben Stevens, Gabe Moritzi, and many more. To find out where you can watch SportsGrid, go to sportsgrid.com/watch. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
And now it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, Cory Sanden, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Royal Polaris, the world's finest long-range sports fisher. By Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup, and Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and Cory Sanden.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. I'm Pete Gray with Cory Sanden. Rock Cod Rick's on a little vacation, and we have a great show for you today, live from Smokey's Curing Company and Cantina in Los Barriles, East Cape, Baja, California, sir. We have the man, Chris Moyer. He's here with us today to talk about fantastic fishing going on down there in the East Cape and all the stuff he does in that incredible town of Los Barriles. So you stay tuned. This is Southern California's sport fishing voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Sports Grid Radio Network, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 1090 AM.
If you're into saltwater fishing, listen to this. Saturday,
Sorry,
November
Pete.
2nd, it's Tackle Day at
No
Fisherman's
worries.
Landing in San Diego. Hi, this is Doug Kern. We are pulling out all the stops on this one. Over 20 manufacturers reps like Shimano and PowerPro. Check out all the Shimano and PowerPro product we have, like the all-new Talica A Series Reel. Backed by popular demand, the Shimano Tranks Casting Contest. Cast a Shimano Tranks 500 and a Shimano Terramar 90H rod and show your surface iron casting skill. You'll see Shimano Terramar is the perfect rod to handle tough fish. The secret is TC4 blank construction. Match your Shimano Terramar rod with the Shimano Tranks 500 reel. Shimano's X-Ship and HEG technologies in the Shimano Tranks combine to provide massive cranking power with a smooth and effortless retrieve. It's our biggest sale of the year, Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing. Unbelievable pricing on tackle, clothing, and accessories. Saturday, November 2nd.
It's time for the PowerPro 30-second seminar. I like catching big fish, and I like smaller reels too. How do I make sure that I have the capacity to land the big one? I fill my reels with PowerPro Max Quattro. It's 25% thinner than standard PowerPro, so you get more line on that small reel. PowerPro has a complete series of highly effective lines, including the brand new PowerPro Depth Hunter Offshore with different colors every 100 feet. Perfect for flatfall fishing. Want to learn more? Check PowerPro.com.
Been thinking of purchasing a new outboard? Don't delay and purchase a brand new Yamaha outboard and a great deal during Yamaha's Wide Wake for Spring sales event. From now until December 6, 2024, eligible new 25 to 2.5 horsepower outboards come with up to $500 in dealer credit. New Yamaha 450 to 425 horsepower outboards include 7 years of coverage protection, and new 350 to 30 horsepower outboards come with 6 years of coverage protection. No need to delay during Yamaha's Wide Wake for Spring sales event. Visit your local Yamaha dealer today. Yamaha, reliability starts here. Offers December 6, 2024, subject to change. Other restrictions and conditions apply. Sport models excluded. New 2.5 to 25 horsepower four-stroke outboard is dealer credit up to $500 based on horsepower towards MSRP value of goods and/or services purchased at the authorized participating dealer that sold the outboard at no extra cost to the consumer. New 425 to 450 horsepower is a 24-month Yamaha extended added 60-month factory limited warranty. New 30 to 350 horsepower is a 36-month Yamaha extended service added to 36-month factory limited warranty. First offered by Florida dealers is a Yamaha extended limited warranty. See authorized participating Yamaha outboard dealer for detail. Cannot be used with any other Yamaha offer. In Florida, Yamaha extended service is administered by Automotive Warranty Service of Florida, Inc. 175 West Jackson Boulevard, Chicago, Illinois 60604. 866-937-3983. License number 60023.
All right. Good morning. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. Welcome back anyway. And
Yeah, thanks.
Busy landings out there.
Boy,
man.
really busy, as you saw
Yeah.
from our outdoor shot there. Excel and the American Angler and the Searcher actually just went to the fuel dock, so they were in there too, and several other boats. Busy, and they're unloading a lot of fish. Wahoo tuna, yellowfin tuna down at in the day and a half range at Colonet.
You're speaking my language.
Yeah,
Pete. I
up
know.
to 70 pounds.
It's exciting.
Yeah, Condor had like close to limits, or not close to limits, but they had a lot, up to 70 pounds the other day.
You know, when
And
you're
I'm
talking,
sure there's other boats down there now.
when you're talking 40, 50 pounders or better, up to 70,
yeah.
it doesn't take much to make a trip.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Yeah. So lots to talk about here on Let's Talk Hookup today. And we want to welcome from Los Barriles, Baja California Sur, our good buddy, Chris Moyer. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Chris.
Hey, Pedro, Cory, buenos dias. Thanks for having me. How we doing today?
Oh, doing great. Recovering from our Fiesta and Palmas de Cortez tournament down there, but I'm almost fully recovered. I got well yelled at by my wife by the 5 pounds I put on down there with drinking beer and margaritas and eating good chips and guacamole and all that good stuff, right?
We heard about Hurricane Pedro.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm telling you guys, Hurricane Pedro, like I said, it did a really good job stirring up the water because this, especially like the last couple of days, man, it's just been going off down here with the fishing. So yeah, it was good. It was great to have Pedro and the gang and the tournament down here. Always a great time, and it was real fun.
Yeah, it was. And so we had fantastic fishing when we were down there. Tuna, wahoo, dorado, marlin, roosterfish, everybody, there were no El Zorillos, no skunks, and everybody had a really good time. But the weather was unusually hot for that time of the year, right?
Yeah, you know what? And I've been talking about the weather all year, saying how mild of a summer we had, through August and September. But man, October really heated up. But the temperature now, you can feel the seasons change right now. It's getting a little bit cooler, so I think definitely within the next week, it's going to be a lot cooler. But yeah, you're right. It was hot, man.
Yeah, it was especially for us gringos from this side of the border, right? We're not used to that kind of stuff. You do that every day, right?
Yeah. But the older I get, the harder it is, man. You never get used to it. But thank God we had that AC on Vaquera that day. It was hot that day when we fished.
Yes, and that's one of the beautiful things. We did get to fish a day on your beautiful 35 Cabo Vaquera with a seakeeper and air-conditioned salon, Cory. I mean, you talk about
the way to do it.
Yeah, and when there's no wind on the water and you're trolling away from the sun and the sun's beating down on that back deck, it gets a little warm, right?
Yeah, and it's funny, Cory, because when we were trolling toward the mainland, it was great. Nice, a bunch of shade and a little breeze. And it was funny. We're like, can we just keep trolling towards Mazatlan, man?
Yeah,
this is great. And then we turn around and we're like, let's just keep going to the mainland. But yeah, it was fun, man. We had a great time.
But that's the beauty of Vaquera, is that when you're headed to the wrong direction, just hop inside to the air conditioning and cool down, and then go back out when the rods bend.
Play some rock and roll and have some cold pops with the boys.
Yeah,
nothing better than that, man.
And the boat's got some history too, right? I mean, how you've acquired the boat is super cool story.
Well, yeah. Well, obviously, you guys know Mark Rayer. He's a staple down here. He's a legend, sure. And he had. I remember when he had it dry docked up in San Diego, right there in Shelter Island, and I went and checked it out while he was, doing all the rehab on it. Brought it down here and fished it for quite a number of years. Was always one of my favorite boats to fish on. Never would have thought I would come to own it, but just so happened, man, it just kind of fell in my lap. Another really good buddy of mine had bought it from Mark, and then I don't know, it just like it was sort of like it just happened over the course of a couple weeks back in April, and man, it's been a dream come true. A lot of work, but a dream come true for sure.
Yeah, and Diego Romero, the captain, keeps that thing immaculate. I mean, Mark Rayer at Genran was very meticulous, to say. But I think he trained Diego very well, because the boat is absolutely meticulously maintained. I mean, every piece of chrome is polished to perfection. Everything about it is in great shape.
It's funny because even when it's not fishing, I'll call Diego in the morning, whatever, check in with him. We check in every day, obviously, and he's on the boat, spit shining that thing up, and whatever it takes. That guy. Really, it's a blessing to have him, because he knows the boat inside and out, and he's been on the boat for over 8 years. and he really does just take care of it. Like it's his prized possession, and it really is for us. But he's definitely a guy that we are really lucky to have.
Yeah, for sure.
And as well as his son, he's got Irvis. He's really training Irvis to be a fine young deckhand and future captain. And, so it's definitely a family affair. And, I've always treated my employees at Smokey's, like family, and he's just another part of the family. So yeah, we're lucky to have him and Irvis for sure.
That's for sure. And so if somebody wants to charter that boat, I just can't believe the rate that you charge. It's what, $1,700 a day?
16. It
16.
Should be 17,
Yeah.
but it's 16. Yeah.
I mean, I don't see how you
16.
afford to run that boat, because you're burning a lot of fuel. Fuel $6 a gallon
Fuel
down there.
alone.
Yeah. And it's so meticulous and all the features. But if somebody wants to charter it, you have a website, right? You got me, Chris? Chris?
We'll have to get him back momentarily.
Yeah, we'll have to get him back momentarily. So,
sorry about that, guys.
there we
go.
Yeah, you were saying about you know what, and it is with the price of diesel these days, it is getting harder and harder. But yeah, we manage. We're doing the best we can with it. We're trying to, make it as affordable as we can and still, pay for the cost.
Yeah. So, VaqueraSportsFishing.com is how you book it.
Yep. Get a hold of us there, and you can get a hold of me obviously at Baja Smoke Dog with 2 G's at Gmail, and you can get a hold of us. And we're booked. I think we only have a couple days available the rest of the month. And then it's gonna fall off in November.
Right.
as the season winds down. But we're pretty much booked solid. But I've got one of my 3 boys, Pedro. I've got Bear's coming in on Sunday with Jill, and we're gonna fish on Tuesday. I've got one day available. We can get out there on the water and go try to catch some fish with my boy. So yeah,
cool.
But yeah, we're booked. We're really booked. It's been a really great year.
Yeah,
we've booked a lot of charters.
So what if somebody wants to book for next year? Like if they're coming down in the spring, summer, fall, want to book for tournaments or whatever, book our tournament next year, October 9 through 13. Can you book that far in advance?
Oh yeah. We're already booking. I just booked some charters yesterday, as a matter of fact, for June. So yeah, we are definitely booking charters for next year, and just go to that website and you can get a hold of us, and we're definitely booking for next year already.
VaqueraSportFishing.com.
Vaquera, that's VAQUERA, sportfishing.com.
Yeah.
And we're booking charters well in advance. So, and we've got, people trying to, obviously book the tournaments already. But so yeah, it's best to get in early, especially for the tourneys. We got the tuna jackpots coming up here, about I think it's the 7th to the 8th of November. We've had that book for quite a while, but yeah. By the way, a 330-pound tuna came in yesterday in the Bisbee offshore.
I saw that.
330,
biggest tuna in a long time down in Mexico, right?
Oh man, it was and that's just in time because, like I said, that tuna jackpot's a big tournament coming up. And matter of fact, my compa Aldo, who I won the Dorado shootout with, they had close to 500-pound marlin in that tournament the first day, and I think they won first 2 days, and then some people came in yesterday and day 3, but they got their entry fee for the black and blue for sure.
Yeah,
man, I'm trying to wrap my. It's been a long time since I heard of a tuna that big down there,
big,
right?
Yeah. Well,
I know, huh?
That's a big
one.
Man,
that sucker was huge.
Yeah, that's a good one. Hey,
that's a qualified marlin in the tournament, now,
right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Chris, so you also run the best cantina in Los Barriles, the food fantastic Smokey's Curing Company Cantina. What's it like running a restaurant down there?
Oh man, I tell you what, it's a lot. It's a lot of hard work, but it sure has paid off. And I never thought to be a restaurateur, but it's been a really rewarding experience. It's been a lot of hard work. We opened in 2008, and I can't believe it's been that long already. But the place is just hopping. It's sort of a it's sort of a meeting place. And I was talking to some buddies last night, and they're like, yeah, it's like everyone's like, hey, when they talk about Los Rios, like, well, let's just meet at Smokey's, whatever.
Right.
Everyone knows what that is. And it's funny because how addresses here are a little bit weird. So when people want to ship stuff, sometimes, like I said, it's not like addresses in the States where you just, you can find it. And so we get packages literally every day from people sending them. They just send us to Smokey's. So we're always having packages for people. And I tell them, I'm like, hey, I'm not responsible for this, man. You need to come and pick it up. So,
yeah, it's kind of the general focal meeting point of Los Perez. But the food, I'm going to say, the quality of the food that you produce there, day after day after day, is just fantastic. What's the secret to that?
I'll tell you what. The secret, honestly, is the fact that, we have that processing plant for the fish. So we have, what we'll do is what we're able to do that nobody else can do is I'll buy 200 kilos of fresh tuna or yellowtail for the restaurant. And that'll last about a week. But I mean, we throw that through, we vac seal it. We vac seal it just like we do for the client. So we're able to have that buying power, and we're able to buy in bulk. But we do that for everything. It's like after the show today, I've got to go pick up 300 kilos of brisket. I mean, that's like 650 pounds. I got to go pick that up today in Cabo. What we'll do is we'll smoke that, and then then we'll vac seal it in those 5 mil bags, and in the whole piece, we'll vac seal it. We'll throw it in the freezer, so that'll last about a month. But I mean, it's that. Honestly, the secret is just we keep everything so fresh. And we're able to vac seal everything. And we don't even throw that cost into the cost of the menu, man. That's just something we do. But that's honestly the secret down here, especially like in the summer months when it's so hot. I mean, other people can't buy that. They might 10 kilos. It's going to last them a couple of days, but we're processing all that food to go in, so we can keep it fresh. And that's really honestly. And then of course the great crew we have. We always say that the girls that are cooking and they're add a dash of love in everything they're cooking. They really care, and they really. It's so that's the thing too, is consistency. It's just that, and that's really the secret now. The crew and the vaccine.
Yeah, you have a great crew of girls and guys that work there for you, and they all adore you and love you like a fan. It's like a family there. This is the thing. When you live in a hot environment like Southern Baja, right? Refrigeration becomes a factor. Freezing becomes a factor. Power becomes a factor, right? There's a lot of things that we take for granted here in the United States that are not taken for granted down there. It's like, oh, the power's on. Great. Chris has a backup generator if stuff goes down, so he can keep his freezers going, his refrigerators going, everything, the lights, the TVs for the sporting events and stuff like that. But that's so important when it comes to fresh food, because there's probably a lot of restaurants down there that when they lose power, they're suffering. Something's going on with that food that's going in there. So I'm just saying that.
Thank you, but no thank you.
It's a safe place to eat, right?
Well, you're right about that, but also think about all the fish we've got in the freezer that belongs to all the clients. You know what I mean? Like we're like the freezers are freaking jam packed right now, and you lose, and sometimes you lose power down here for no reason. There's just no reason for it. Something went wrong somewhere along the line between Cabo or La Paz, and it can be nerve wracking at times. I'll tell you that. And then you get a hurricane down here, and sometimes you lose power for 4 days, 7 days, whatever, even 2 days. But any amount of time, it's definitely nerve wracking. But we've got we've got 2 backup generators that we can hook up to for, and it's funny because like when we get like, well, not funny, but I mean like when we get like a hurricane or something that blows through or a storm and maybe power's out around town for a day or so, we've got power, we've got cold beer flowing, and we've got the TVs going, and so I'm like, hey man, let's get out of here, let's go down to Smokey's and hang out like nothing happened,
Yeah, exactly. And then the other factor of your business is, of course, the smokehouse and the processing plant. And you and your guys, Noe and the whole crew are down with Anibal at Palmas de Cortez and the whole crew down there every day when the boats come in and collecting fish for processing, right?
We are there every single day. That pretty much May through say November 15th, and then even when it's off season, we'll have guys ready to run down the dock when fish, because the dock may have fish coming in any day during the year, so we'll run down there. But yeah, for the fishing season, we got our crews down there at Playa del Sol and Palmas de Cortez every single day, with our trucks, and we run that fish from the dock to we have a cutting room that's off site, and we'll run the fish down there, and they'll fillet it, label it with the client's number, and put it on ice, and then it's just ferried back over to the Smokies, Smokies, our plant there, and manicured and sanitized, and that's how it goes. Yeah, it's quite an operation, man. We're because not everything is on site right there, so we're running fish all around all day, every day.
Yeah, no, it's a big deal, and it's fisherman's processing quality. I mean, 5 mil bags, perfectly trimmed. I mean, we caught a wahoo and we had it for dinner over at Chris and Judy Barrick's house that night, and everything was perfectly trimmed.
Incredible.
Yeah, and fresh. And then Mark, my friend, took home a nice package of wahoo in his suitcase. All vacuum packed, frozen, and perfectly done. So yeah, definitely worth the price for the processing.
Incredible. And Chris, for myself and many listeners that don't know you, I mean, I have yet to meet you, and you sound like such a cool guy. What brings you to Baja, sir? I mean, where did you come from? And just a short story.
What the hell are you doing?
Right. I know,
right?
It's incredible.
Oh, man. I was, it's funny because, you take different paths in life, but what happened was my pops, he was up, he was a judge and a lawyer up in the States, but he was always an adventurer. We always used to fish out of San Diego and go take 6-packs and get our fish processed over there at Point Loma Seafoods and smoke our fish. And he just thought it was the greatest thing in the world. So when he retired, he decided to, he literally got in a 4-seat airplane with his buddies, and they hopped down the Baja. I mean, they were in San Ignacio, Mulahay, Loreto.
How cool.
They went to Baja, Los Angeles, landed on the beach. They just hopped down, and he landed in Punta Pescadero, and he ended up coming into town because what he wanted to do is he wanted to open up a fish processing, a smokehouse, just like Point Loma Seafoods, they do that, a fisherman, sportsman like that. So he just found Los Grillos, and he's like, this is it. And back then, it was funny because really nobody was doing it. And you go fishing at, any of the hotels, resorts, and they literally had these like 5-gallon plastic bags, and they would just put the loins in these big bags, still bloodlines in everything, and kind of freeze this huge like pillowcase full of fish. And then you take that home, and it'd be like, well, we got to have a party to, eat this. So anyway, he just started it in 95 like that. And it just kind of took off. And meanwhile, I was up in San Diego working, had my own business up there. And I would come down here, and I'd be like, Pedro knows that it was that where the location was where the Intercam Bank is. It was just a little, little place up there. At the
right next to Can-Do. Great place to have breakfast.
Yeah, right there.
Yep.
Yeah, right there. So I would come down and be like, hey man, you gotta get a bigger smoker. You're only processing fish from Palmas de Cortez. What about Playa del Sol, Rancho Leonero, Rancho Buenavista, Spa Buenavista? What's Martin Verdugo's? You got to do all this. You got to open up a restaurant and blah, blah, blah. And then after a few years, he's like, look, man, I came down here to drink beer, fish, and chase women, and I'm not being able to do any of that right now. And, I'm just too busy. He goes, you couldn't do it. And it took me literally a year to talk my wife into doing it, because we had two in diapers, another little boy, and I would work on her. I'd be like, hey man, I want to go down and smoke fish in Mexico. And she's like, she's
like, what are you smoking, right?
She knew what I was smoking.
You kidding?
But anyway, she goes, you're crazy, because at that time I had started my own law firm in San Diego. We was rolling. She knew we had the ramen noodles and macaroni and cheese days, you know?
Yeah.
So anyway, it took me a year to talk her into it. And finally she said, okay. And that was it, man. I said, hey, we can, if we don't make it, we can always come back and do this again. And
because you're a lawyer and the great thing is that Clarence, your dad, such a cool dude, and you'll see him on his outside deck in his house on the beach right just south of Rancho Leonero. Such a cool guy and still enjoying the beauty of the East Cape. But hey, we got a lot to talk about. And as you can hear, we have a great show lined up for you today with Chris Moyer from Smokey's, Vaquera, and the Curing Company, the whole thing there. So
and get further, further into meeting Chris. It's so cool. And Chris, it's great to have you for a couple of hours. You know, we get to hear your voice for several minutes every weekend, and to have you for a couple hours is super cool. And for our listeners, and if you want to give us a call, 213-432-1090 is the way to do it, or you can text us via the app. There's an open line waiting for you right now at 213-432-1090. We're giving away a full day trip on the San Diego today, and man, somebody's going to be super stoked to have that one. If you are texting the show, make sure you do leave your name and telephone number. We mention it every show to be able to get a hold of you if you win the full day trip on that San Diego. We need a name and telephone number, so please do so. And when we come back, we're going to have more from Chris Moyer. Super stoked to have this guy from Smokey's Curing Company and Cantina and the Vaquera when we return on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the Sports Grid Radio Network.
Everyone has their go-to fishing spot. My spot is Kingfisher Charters in Sitka, Alaska. Rock Cod Rick here to say if you're looking for the ultimate Alaska experience and the best value in Alaska, it's Kingfisher Charters. Owner Seth Bone and his crew consistently deliver deluxe accommodations, the finest food, world-class fish processing, and top-of-the fishing experience. We've literally sent hundreds of our listeners to Kingfisher, and they all can't wait to go back. Most Alaska resorts make big promises and they don't deliver, or they'll nickel and dime you to drive up the cost, but not Kingfisher. Everything is included. Your license, fish processing, super deluxe accommodations, amazing food, airport transfers, your gear. Literally all you need to bring is your layer clothing, and Kingfisher covers the rest. They also have the finest boats and charter captains in Sitka, all for the ultimate value. Take it from me. Book your trip to Kingfisher Charters and you'll thank me. Kingfisher Charters, 800-727-6136, or check kingfishercharters.com.
Saturday, November 2nd, it's Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego, and it's our largest sale ever. Plenty of seminars by saltwater experts, over 20 reps from tackle manufacturers like Shimano. Come check out the new Shimano Talica A, the pinnacle of lever drag 2-speed reels. The Talica features Shimano's Hagani body to prevent misalignment of moving parts under the heaviest loads. When throwing jigs, the Shimano Trinidad is your top choice. For the best ever tackle bargains, check out Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing, Saturday, November 2nd.
Lobster season is here. It's time to gear up with the best in the business. Promar, based in SoCal. Promar knows lobster and makes everything you need to catch these tasty critters. The Promar guys are hardcore lobster fishermen and have designed the most successful hoop nets and accessories on the market, including the Ambush Series hoop net line, the original hoop net designed for SoCal lobster hooping. Visit Promar on Facebook or on the web at promarahi.com.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. And at your San Diego County Ford dealers, you can find yours with the Ford F-150. Whether it's towing, powering up, or getting from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, the power to choose between gas, hybrid, or all electric is yours. Tough this smart can only be called F-150. Only at your San Diego County Ford dealers, they'll be glad to hook you up.
The lighter the bite and the cleaner the water means one thing. Need a thinner leader, more natural presentations. That's where Seaguar Gold Label leader material shines. It's Seaguar's thinnest leader material yet. That means it's even less visible underwater and creates more natural presentations for better catch rates on leader-shy fish. With exceptional knot and tinsel strength, this advanced leader material is now available from 2-pound test for fishing trout in the Sierra to 80-pound test for big yellowfin in Guadalupe. Get Seaguar Gold Label at your favorite tackle dealer or learn more at seaguar.com.
Whether you're boating, floating, paddling, fishing, or just chilling, remember a good day on the water always starts with everyone wearing life jackets. Save the ones you love. Life jackets save lives. A message from California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways.
All right. Good morning. Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup, and super stoked to have Chris Moyer on with us for the next 2 hours. And
as you can see on our YouTube and Facebook live production, he's not in the studio.
No,
he's live down in his hometown. I believe you're probably still at your house, right? At Rancho Leonero?
I'm sitting on the patio having my coffee. It's a beautiful day. The boats we're going by, and that's where I'm at, man.
Yeah, it's paradise.
Incredible.
He's sitting in paradise right now, right?
It is
beautiful. But Cory and I wish you were here in the studio, but we'd rather be where you are.
He's in a much more beautiful place.
Much more beautiful
place. We're in a beautiful place.
Yeah, but
I'm sure you guys got a nice view there watching all the fish come in.
Oh, yeah. No, it's a busy morning. I had the outside camera on our YouTube and Facebook live working this morning. So
XL had a lot going on.
And the American Angler.
So cool, watching all the fish come in.
Yeah, and the searcher was here and stuff. But I wanted to talk about our 30th annual Rich Top Memorial Palmas de Cortez fall spectacular that we just had at Palmas de Cortez. And I think let's bring up Chris Kugel, the Chris Kugel, who was a participant in that. Good morning, Chris.
Doing, man, and
to the other Chris, guacamole.
First name.
Yeah,
guacamole.
Hey, Chris, I know you and your team were a part of Rancho Leonero's tournament for many, 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 many years, decades. And you decided to, when John closed and sold Rancho Leonero, you decided, well, I better continue the tradition of being a part of Let's Talk Hookup and come down to the 30th annual Palmas de Cortez Rich Top Memorial Tournament. What'd you think?
It was great. The facility there is beautiful. The pool with the bar in the middle of it is greater.
Yeah.
But I'd like to say to Chris, my brother-in-law, Mark Rosal, will be coming up to your place to get our fish that we caught and had processed by you guys. So just to warn you. So anyhow, the tournament was great. The weather was great. Everything was fabulous. I drove down like I always have. However, I think that's the last time I'm driving down. The airplane is going to be my friend.
Yeah.
The traffic on one was absolutely incredible. They got sets of doubles now on the road.
Oh.
So I was holding my breath a lot.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
and I understand the road's in horrible condition, right, Chris?
Well, I drove the road before there was a road paved. So it's what you have to compare it to.
Yeah.
There are some nasty potholes, but it's been worse. But you got to be careful. There are some potholes there that will rattle your teeth.
And what did you guys?
I just want to thank you again.
What did you guys catch in the tournament, Chris?
The first day, I thought we were in the money. I put my old Trust and True purple Rapala, big Rapala out, and we got a wahoo.
Nice.
And it was a nice size wahoo.
Yeah,
I said, oh boy, that's money. And then we got into a Dorado, little, 10, maybe 15-pound Dorado, and we caught our limit of those, and we came home. And then the next day, we caught 3 marlin and a sailfish, and it was great, just great.
Yeah.
And that was on Awesome. And Awesome is a great boat to fish.
And you won the Costa $300 gift certificates for the most billfish released, which was pretty cool.
It was wonderful.
Yeah, yeah. Now
I want to thank you and your crew. And when you see Chris Barrick, tell him Chris Kugel said hi.
Of course.
I'm sure he's listening right now.
All right.
Told him.
All right, Mr. Kugel. Thanks. Of course, Chris is a retired San Diego fireman and
super cool
been,
guy.
Serving the community here in San Diego
cool.
and it's just a great person and his whole family. Great people, and his team are great people to have around. So thanks, Chris, for joining us, and we hope you join us in October 9th through 13th for our 31st annual Rich Top Tournament.
Incredible.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for the call this morning. the other thing too is Rich Top was my dear friend and many of our dear friend. He loved Palmas de Cortez, and he bought a condo there. He bought a boat. Mi Sueño is his boat down there. He's partners with Chucky Van Warmer on that boat. Rich loved that place. So it was so appropriate to name the tournament after him when he passed away just a few years ago. But so cool that his family, his brother, Jerry, and his wife Peggy, and then their grandkids and kids, they all come and participate in the tournament, which is so cool, and it makes it so special, right, Chris?
It's great. And by the way, I think we talked about this, Pedro, when you were here, but if there was ever a gentleman that's aptly named, it was Rich Top. Why? Because this guy's soul, it was so rich, just the nicest guy you'd ever want to meet. And he was just top notch, man. You're talking about an aptly named gentleman. That guy was top notch. His family, Peggy, all his kids, and he was a fixture down here, man. And I love the fact that you named the tournament the Rich Top Memorial, man. It's a great tribute to a great man.
Yeah, well, that's very well put, for sure. And what's funny is everywhere you go at Palmas de Cortez, you talk about Rich, and they go, "Oh, we love that guy." All the local Mexican people just absolutely adored him because he was such a kind and generous gentleman, and he still lives well down at Palmas de Cortez in the memories of. But I want to say something about the Van Warmers, and we missed Eddie Dalmal very much. He's moved on to the Pirate Fleet in La Paz, who used to run our tournament. But the Van Warmer family, Chucky, Bobby, Eddie, were all there for our tournament, and especially Eddie and his two sons, Carlos and Roberto, were, and then David, their assistant, were so gracious and caring to make sure that everything was done properly for our tournament. And really, really did an extra special job for us. The tournament shirts that they produced, that actually Eddie Dalmal produced before he left, the trophies, the whole thing was just so well done by the Van Warmer family. And I'm going to say this too, and I don't know that you notice it too, Chris. They're paying, Chacha Van Warmer passed away, was it last year, I believe?
Yep.
The boys have really taken the reins since Chacha left. And they have taken the resort to another level. The manicuring and the cleaning and the upkeep of the resort is the best I've ever seen it, in my opinion. And what do you think, Chris?
Oh man, you know what? It's amazing that outfit they run. Honestly, they got the Playa del Sol, the Palmas de Cortez, that one of the probably the best fleet in Mexico. And listen, I own one stinking boat, and that's a lot of work. These guys have 50, 60 boats, and they're let me tell you, it's amazing if you step back and look at what they're doing with the resort and just the operation of running. It's a well-oiled machine, and it's a massive machine.
Yes.
And you just have to admire what they're doing because, like I said, I've got something to deal with on my boat literally every day. They've got so many boats. It's crazy the amount of the fleet that they maintain and the quality of the hotel and everything. So, yeah. Absolutely doing a great job.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Well, Cory, the phones are packing up. They want to talk to Chris. Let's jump into it.
Let's do it, Pete. How about Vinny? Vinny calling from Carlsbad. Good morning and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup, Vinny.
Hey, good morning. How you guys doing?
Doing good,
Great.
man.
Question for Chris. So, good. A question for you. So I know, up here in San Diego, you have a little bit of a backup, and you have to kind of pre-order your, fish. Hey, we got this trip coming up, and in about a year in advance to catch a bunch of fish down there. What's your turnaround time down there?
Oh yeah, you don't have to reserve anything. We're on the docks every day, so it's just overnight on the fresh. Because that's frozen, but your catch is frozen by midnight the same day. As far as smoking, usually it's 48 hours because what we'll do is we'll take your catch that day and then we'll manicure it. The next day we brine it, and then the second day we smoke it because we dry it overnight. But when we get really busy in the summertime, a lot of times we're brining the same day. We're brining at night, and then we dry it overnight and we smoke the next day. So it's 24 hours when we get real busy, and then it's 48 hours otherwise. But yeah, that's the turnaround on the smoking.
All right.
Pretty
Thanks
quick.
a lot for the call this morning. I had a great text from Jeff in Encinitas, and he says, good morning, great show. Always love hearing about the East Cape and about the he wants to know about the status of Rancho Leonero these days and how John Ireland is doing, and always one of my favorite places to go. I will say this, John Ireland is doing great. He just got back from a trip from Europe yesterday. I talked to him yesterday, and he's going to be here for 2 hours in the studio in mid-November.
Awesome.
And to give us kind of an update on Rancho Leonero and what's going on over there. But you live there, Chris. I mean, what is going on there right now?
Well, you hear, the rumor mill, but anyway, the new owners who I've met, they're good guys. They're planning on tearing down the hotel and building a new, way, obviously more modern resort, maybe like something like a 5-star. I think what I've heard is maybe 60, 70 rooms, but then a ton of condos and all that. So life here, the tranquilo life here in Rancho Leonero is probably going to change soon, but we're hoping it doesn't change the character of the place too much. Now, the hotel is still standing as of now, as well as our beloved pool bar. So I'm actually, I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm actually lobbying them to let me open up Smokey South Last Call Leonero bar, because people are itching to just let me open the bar there for, a few months, let people come back and and
before they tear it down.
But we'll see. I mean, I'm kind of letting the cat out of the bag, but I'm lobbying hard for
to bring it back.
Last Call Leonero.
Yeah, well, that would be fun for sure. Well, Cory, let's jump back in the phones.
Let's do it. How about James? James calling from Oceanside. Good morning, James.
Hey, good morning, Chris, Pete, and Cory. I appreciate talking to you all. Hey, I had some. I'm a frustrated smoker. I've tried smoking many different times and always seem to come up short. I was wondering if you had any tips for us guys at home on how to improve the quality of our product, and I really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Are you talking fish?
Yeah.
Are you talking about fish? Okay. So are you?
It always seems to come out dry.
Okay. Are you brining?
I tried brining a couple of times, and I don't really understand the whole pellicle concept. If maybe you could walk me through it.
Okay, so what you're doing is you definitely want to brine the fish. I mean, we do a lot of smoking of other stuff that, you can do dry rubs and everything. I'm a proponent of the brining to retain the moisture. So, you want to our brine is sea salt, brown sugar, and honey. But I mean, our salinity is very, very high because we're doing a quick brine. We don't do like a 24-hour brine. We're doing like our thickest tuna cuts. We're probably brining for an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. So anyway, you want to brine it. So let's just say, and then what you have to do is you have to dry it overnight, like on a rack. So it's not sitting in brine, and that's what will develop your pellicle. And that, for people that pellicle is when you touch it, it's sort of tacky and it's, sticky. So that drying it is key. And then you go into the smoking, but also you want to, it's your temp, your fish, you only want to get to 145 degrees core temp. And I don't want to bore people, but anyway, my thing is you only want to hit the 145 core temp. So, I mean, our ovens, the highest temp we get is 180. So you don't want to get too hot with the fish, and that may be part of the why it's getting dry, But anyway, if that helps, I hope.
So keep it long. And then how long do you smoke for, Chris?
Okay, so our process is 4.5 hours. And, you're starting at 100 degrees. And then you're stepping up in stages. And it's, really it's just about 4.5 hours.
Wow.
And that could vary it just varies a little bit because the last stage is based on your core temp of your product. So once you get to if you're in thinner fish, it's thinner cuts, you'll reach core temp, thinner. So it's a shorter last stage. But anyway, yeah. So You want 145 degrees core temp, and $4.50 for us.
There you go.
Incredible.
Hey, thanks a lot for the call this morning. Appreciate that.
Incredible information.
Yeah,
I mean, it's stuff we all want to know. We're going
Yeah.
to come back more with Chris Moyer from Smokey's Curing Company and Cantina and the Vaquera when we return on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the Sports Grid Radio Network.
The fish are biting and it's time to go. Hi, this is Ben, and you will see me at my dad's shop, Dana Landing in Mission Bay, or maybe in front of the shop on my kayak. It doesn't matter if you are out there on a kayak with me, on your boat, headed out on a sport boat. Dana Landing has everything you need. We call it the one-stop shop for a great day on the water because it truly is. Food, bait, tackle, beverages, and more. Our tackle shop, headed by John, is certainly one of the best. For freshwater tackle, nothing beats East County Bait and Tackle. These guys have the best rods and reels and the hottest lures and live bait. Our newest shop is Lemon Grove Bait and Tackle with a great stock of both fresh and saltwater tackle right in the heart of Lemon Grove. ECBT is at the end of the 67 freeway on Mapleview and Lakeside. Lemon Grove Bait and Tackle, 94 to Broadway in Lemon Grove, and Dana Landing is next to the Dana Launch Ramp in Mission Bay. Check out danalanding.com for more details.
Hey, it's time to talk about great gear from Shimano. And, with Cory here, calico bass fishing.
It's got to be the Tranks.
The Tranks, whether it be fresh or saltwater fishing, I don't care. The Tranks, what's your favorite size?
Well, it's almost a 150 for freshwater, that newer 150. 200, my favorite, and definitely inshore calico, and even popper fishing, yellowfin, that kind of stuff. The 300 is definitely... Or the 4, you can go to 4.
Well, that's the thing is if you're reading this, every single one of them, whether it be the 500, the 400, the 300, the 200, the 150, they all have great applications and can serve you well, both in fresh and saltwater fishing.
You know what tops it all, Pete? They're absolutely priced right.
Right. And they're almost bulletproof too. I mean, they last, they endure the salt water, and they're easy to cast. The Tranks reel from Shimano, there's nothing like it. Get it at your local Shimano dealer.
Get ready for the largest event in our history. Saturday, November 2nd, it's Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. We'll have great savings from Daiwa on Saltus, Saltiga, and the entire electric reel lineup. A fantastic offer on the Proteus rod and SK jigs too. Over 20 manufacturers reps, including Daiwa. Plenty of seminars, saltwater experts, huge raffle, and most of all, incredible deals on tackle. Up to 60% off. Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing, Saturday, November 2nd.
Hello, this is Captain Mike Totter from Cedros Sport Fishing. Alongside my colleague, Chef Josh Evans, and our dedicated team, we invite you to join us aboard the Searcher. Our fishing trips range from a day and a half to 8 days, available May through November, and include charter options. We're committed to upholding a legacy of top-notch customer service, delicious food, and a friendly and talented crew. Book your fishing adventure online at CedrosSportFishing.com or call Rachel at 619-226-2403. That's CedrosSportFishing.com. We look forward to welcoming you aboard.
Captain Jamie Tennis from Season Sport Fishing here. For the past few seasons, a dart-styled metal jig has come into play in a big way for tuna offshore or even rockfish down deep. AFCO's crossbreed jig has quickly become the go-to for many since it came onto the market. AFCO's crossbreed jig is good to go right out of the package with a 4X treble hook, heavy-duty split rings, West Coast colors, and sizes 60 gram to 120 gram. Pick one up today at your local tackle store or learn more on AFCO.com.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup, and having so much fun with Chris Moyer. And you want to join us, you can do so at 213-432-1090. We have one open line waiting for you right now, or you can text us via the app, and it's only done through the app. You want to make sure you do leave your name and telephone number, because we're giving away a full day trip on the San Diego at the end of the show. We want to make sure that we can get a hold of you if you're texting us via the app, and jump into the lines. Again, the telephone number, if you want to join us, 213-432-1090. We're going to jump into the lines and talk to Baja Ben from Chula Vista. Good morning, Ben.
Morning, guys. How you doing?
Doing very good.
Buenos dias.
Hey, I've been all over down there, but just not married much to the East Cape. Just off-road racing brought me down there. We don't get to kind of race that part. But tell me a little bit more about the cantina, like best drinks you got, any good mezcal that's, you know, just in Mexico only, you know? Like, just tell me what I can expect, because I'm coming down there. Just be told.
Like I always say, the tequila at Smokey smells like leche and miel, for one. And we've got, I mean, right, as a matter of fact, funny you ask, we've got, we're doing a mixology. We're opening up a mixology bar shortly, and our guys are being trained as we speak. We're doing a 6-week training to really step it up, man. But I mean, one of the things, I mean, for sure, that we're doing mango season, we buy about 500 pounds of mango, and we process out like the fish. So we've got fresh mango margaritas and you know, daiquiris and stuff all year round that taste like the, you know, things just dropped off the tree. But yeah, man, you know, it's a really fun atmosphere. It's sort of like an outdoor palapa type bar with you know, we got something like 20 TVs. We play all the sporting events. Sundays go off with the football Saturdays. So yeah, it's a real fun atmosphere. People seem to enjoy just that feel, and it's got a kind of an island bar. So a lot of people, you know, you're sitting across the bar from somebody you might not know. You start, you know, you make friends that way. Yeah, it's a really cool place. It's got a nice vibe.
It's been rocking too with all the sporting events going on, college football, NFL football, and of course the baseball playoffs, the World Series coming up.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, last night was rocking. We had the Dodger game, the Oregon. We got a lot of Oregonites or Oregonians. I should say.
Oh my God. So my brother-in-law John was with us in our group, and he's from Ohio, major Ohio State family, as well as my wife's whole family is like huge. Their dad used to teach at Ohio State, so I mean they're all about Ohio State. And of course, they got barely beaten by Oregon the other night or last Saturday.
That was a great game.
That was. I mean, John was crying, but he was so overpopulated by the Oregonians there, right? I mean,
oh yeah,
it was like he was the only one from Ohio there, and everybody else was from Oregon.
It was about 10-1. We did have some in there, but it was about 10-1. Yeah, boy, they call Smokey the Oregon fan club South, man.
Yeah.
We definitely have to get those Oregon games on. We've got a lot of them, and we sure appreciate them. But yeah, they're passionate and rabid.
Yeah. Our producer, phone screener Chris says, yeah, his in-laws are from Ohio State. Well, like me, same thing, and they're pretty miserable. It's like that was not a pretty picture for Ohio State to lose that game, especially to Oregon, right? But hey, congratulations to Oregon, and they'll make it up. I mean, they will meet again, I am sure, for sure. But thanks. Yeah, but it just shows you what a community
is happening at Smokies
around at Smokies, right? It is the focal point of that community, and Los Barriles is growing, but it's still old world. That's the cool thing about it. Now, what's happening near Rancho Leonero and south is craziness. The Four Seasons, the Oman, the new marina at Costa Palmas. They're selling lots for $20 million.
Incredible.
At this place.
Incredible.
Have they figured out that the wind blows 6 months of the year in their face down there? Right?
And I don't know if they figured out that they built the resort in that huge arroyo either. I'm not sure. It's kind of weird. But it's funny, they're selling lots for $20 million in Pops' house. Pops' house is on the beach about a half a mile away.
I know. He's in good shape. He's in good shape. But I mean, it certainly is a beautiful place in the marina there. I know our friend Skeet Simmons has a house there in the marina. And I mean, it's certainly a very, very cool place. Beautiful. But the money... And I think a lot of it's because the celebrities have found it. Like Leonardo DiCaprio started it. And I think it's kind of like one of those deals where, well, if he has one, I got to get one, right? And then the people that own the land just kind of lick their chops and go, yeah, we can get you one of those.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah.
Joe Montana.
Yeah.
It's one of those things like, hey, man, I got to one up. I got to get over there and get one of those.
But Los Barriles is, and that's in La Ribera over there. Los Barriles is
not very far away,
but it's still old world Mexico, which is the cool thing about it. It's changed. It's changed some. Like the Van Wormers are being smart, and they're building what is it? Is it like 30 pickleball courts or something like that, where the old airstrip used to be?
It might be 40, man. It might be 40.
It's a huge pickleball.
It's a huge pickleball resort.
And they're building, and the other thing too is they're building a big restaurant and a bar and a restaurant right there with the pickleball courts. And Chucky was telling me that one of the cool things, they brought a lot of the, when they tore down Punta Colorado, he brought all the old rock that used to make up the walkways at Punta Colorado, which his dad hand built. I mean, his dad and mom, that was their first resort. And he brought that rock to honor their mom and dad. And they're going to use that rock to build the facade in front of the restaurants, which I think is such a cool story. Yeah.
Super cool.
It's a great gesture, man. Of course. Yeah. That history.
Definitely. Well, hey, speaking of which, Tom and Carpinteria, or actually Tom Carpenter, I'm not sure where he's from, but I think he's a Bay Area, actually, 707 area code. Back in the day, we used to fly down there in a Cessna and land on the strip that Cha-Cha to play for a week or two. Has anyone pushed for a new strip in the East Cape?
Well, there's one at Punta right by Punta Colorado, and then the other one, there's one at Punta Pescadero to the north.
Right.
So that's that pretty much covers it. In fact, I don't even know. I think the one at Punta Colorado might be closed. So it's just Punta Pescadero. But I mean, with the Cabo International Airport 45 minutes away,
right?
I mean, and Punta Pescadero is a half an hour.
There. Yeah.
So really, it's like, I don't know.
It's not that bad.
I haven't heard talk of anything like that.
And here's the other thing too. With all those big celebrities building millions and millions of dollars of stuff, you got to think that there's going to be a landing strip there eventually, right?
Yeah. Well, they were talking about putting one, Pete, right where we were at Punta Reina at the lighthouse.
Oh, okay.
Right there at Las Barracas in that bay right there. At Las Barracas, there was talk about putting something there, which is further than Punta Colorado, but still close and close enough to that marina. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if something happened there, near, if anything, it'd be near La Ribera for that all those resorts, going in and all that building.
Yeah, gotcha.
But it would be cool. But there was talk about putting one down at Las Barracas, which is just past Lighthouse.
Yeah, okay, right there. Yeah. Huh. That
interesting.
I don't want to see it, but
no,
man, it's such a pristine area. It's so beautiful. Yeah, but it's progress.
Right.
You have a great
we are
text.
changing down here.
Yeah, I actually do, Pete, and it's for Chris, obviously. It says, good morning, everybody. My question is for Chris. So how does it work to go fishing down there? And so here we are. We're stirring up all this interest.
Sure.
And Chris Moyer, they want to know how to join in. Is it all reservations, or can you just show up and go fishing? Is it like with Rosie at Cedros, where she takes care of pretty much everything? What do you bring, and what are the trips like? How long? What's the process like? And what do we do to get down there? What's the general cost? And that comes from Jason in Ocean Beach.
Well, that's pretty broad, but I would say people. I mean, basically the season is really pretty much May through mid-November. And people show up all the time, and you can always find a boat to fish on without a reservation. But it's always best to have a reservation. I mean, obviously we've had some people call us out of the blue and get on Vaquera, but I mean, it's best to have a reservation. And then obviously any of the hotels, whether you're at Playa del Sol, Palmas de Cortez, Martin Verdugos, Pescadores, all those hotels have boats. And they can hook you up.
So let me help you out. Let me help you out here, Chris.
Yeah.
Let me help you out. So if you call the Van Wormer Resorts booking office, and you can stay at either Palmas de Cortez or Playa del Sol, they pretty much take care of everything. Your room, you can get a condo,
your boat,
your boat. You can get a full package which includes food if you want it, but you don't want to do that because there's so many great restaurants right across the street in Los Barriles.
And Smokey's, man.
And Smokey's right there. Yeah, for sure. Or you can just get the room and then book Vaquera through Chris, and that would be another alternative too. But if you wanted to just get a Ponger or something like that, or one of the basic
available
boats, you can still get it through Van Wormer Resorts. So best thing to do is just go to vanwormerresorts.com and look at that. And then if you want to book Vaquera, which I highly recommend, it's the higher end of the boats down there. But if you have 4 people splitting it, right, Chris?
But Pete,
it's super comfortable.
1,700 or less.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Now we had 6 fishermen on the boat that day, right, Chris? And it wasn't crowded. We had plenty of room, right?
Plenty of room, and we're speaking of that. We're thinking about doing something where we charge a premium, but we include the fish processing, and we include lunches, like send you out with some racks of ribs, some Smokies, or some smoked tuna sandwiches.
Stop.
All your beer and water and everything. But we're going to charge you a premium, but it's going to include. We might have that package for next year where we're like, look, we're just going to take care of everything for you.
This is all inclusive.
Like Rosie does, sort of like Rosie. But it's gonna, and then they'll just be like, look, this is what it's gonna be, and we'll see. We're contemplating that.
I think that's a wonderful way to do it because, like,
some people just want
Jason at Ocean Beach, he just wants to sign up, pay what it is, and not have to worry about anything.
Yeah, and here's the thing too: is if you book through Van Wormer Resorts, and then you check in with Anibal at the resort at 6 o'clock every evening before your boat departs, you can order your lunches, you can order your beer, your water, and everything. And even if you're going on Vaquera and you're not inclusive, they'll put it on the dock for you
and have it ready.
And then when you get back, of course, Chris's guys are on the dock waiting for you to weigh your fish and then take it to Smokey's to have it processed.
Hold it though. Chris Moyer mentioned ribs on the boat in the all-inclusives. You had me right there,
Can
man.
you imagine his smoking process too? His smoke stuff is great.
We had some guys fishing the Vaquera recently. We had a rib night on Thursday Night Football, and they said, give us 3 racks to go and some coleslaw and potato salad. And I heard they ate like kings the next day on the boat. Man.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
hold it right there, Chris. You're killing me, man. Hey, we're going to be. Hey, Chris, we appreciate you joining us. Hold tight because we got the top of the hour break. Stay right with us. We're going to be right back on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the Sports Grid Radio Network.
Hey everyone, James Holst here with Norsk Lithium, the official battery partner of Let's Talk Hookup. Here at Norsk Lithium, we have 2 goals that drive who we are and what we do. The first is to make the highest quality, longest lasting lithium batteries available with a complete lineup of batteries that include 12, 24, 36 volt and starting batteries. Second, in addition to offering a 10-year warranty on all Norsk Lithium marine batteries, we provide amazing customer service before and after the sale. Check us out online at norsklithium.com. That's NORSK lithium.com, or call us at 831-232-9063. Or to see Norsk Lithium batteries in person, stop by the Trolling Motor Doctor in Lakewood or Anglers Marine in Anaheim and see why Norsk Lithium batteries should be in your boat.
No matter where the adventure takes you, we've got you powered. Norsk Lithium.
Great fishing is what Seaforth Sports Fishing in Mission Bay is all about. With free parking and fully stocked tackle shop, Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Apollo, Outer Limits, Elgato Doe, Pride, Polaris Supreme, Tribute, Pacifica, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth Sea Watch in San Diego offer the finest half and full day trips available. Seaforth Sport Fishing. For charters or schedule, check seaforthlanding.com. Run by fishermen for fishermen in Mission Bay.
The name that stands out among anglers is Fisherman's Landing, your top choice in local and long-range fishing. Hi, this is Doug Kern. Our hardworking crew will make sure your fishing experience is one to remember. We offer the finest open party trips from 1 to 3 days, the best charter boats available, and of course, our world-renowned long-range fleet is second to none. Fisherman's Landing is a full-service operation offering great half-day trips on the Dolphin and full-day open party trips on the spacious and comfortable Liberty. Since we introduced the full-day trips at Fisherman's Landing, the 85-foot Liberty has become a favorite among full-day operations with bunks for your comfort, huge bait capacity, and RSW fish holds to keep your catch fresh. Plus, Liberty has a big modern galley and 2 interior heads with showers. All our open party trips from half-day, full, or 1 to 3 day trips can easily be booked online at fishermanslanding.com or give us a call at 619-221-8500. I'll see you at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
Sports Grid Radio Network is the premier audio streaming channel dedicated to serving the massive sports wagering and fantasy audience. Found on the Sports Grid app and SiriusXM. Sports Grid's real-time data transforms viewers into informed sports enthusiasts. Get the best in-game live coverage during all the games, as well as the most in-depth pre-game previews from hosts like Scott Farrell, Donnie Rightside, Ben Stevens, Gabe Morency, and many more. To find out where you can listen to Sports Grid, go to sportsgridradio.com. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
Saturday, November 2nd, it's Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego, and it's our largest sale ever. Plenty of seminars by saltwater experts and over 20 reps from tackle manufacturers like Daiwa, Salty Crew, Maxell, Iser, and Two Fish Jigs. Don't miss all the great seminars, the huge raffle to benefit Rollo Kids, the popular casting contest, and of course, the huge sale. For the best ever tackle bargains, check out Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing, Saturday, November 2nd.
Inside information is everything when it comes to catching fish in Southern California. You need a code group to connect with what's happening on the water. FishDope.com is your code group. Inside information available at your fingertips 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. FishDope.com really does help you catch more fish and burn less fuel. FishDope.com is the only fish finding service with a spotter plane, along with a crew of top anglers on the water almost every day that report actual locations and catches. They become your code group. You get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Catine, 365 days a year. FishDope.com has online planning tools, temperature and chlorophyll charts, hot bite icons, and more. Take it from me. You don't have FishDope.com, you're not part of the in-the-know crowd. Membership is affordable and good for an entire year. Plus, use the special code and save $30 on a new FishDope.com membership. Check it out today. FishDope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel.
Now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. Get ready for more of the best fishing information and the hottest tips on improving your angling skills. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Shimano rods and reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. And now, Southern California's sports fishing voice, the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Mexa, and Cory Sanden.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of Let's Talk Hookup right here on the Let's Talk Hookup app, the Sports Grid Radio Network, 1090 AM, and YouTube and Facebook Live.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. And soon to be on Sirius Radio in the winter.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool. Pete Gray here, along with Cory Sanden. Ricky's taking a little vacation this weekend.
Well deserved.
What a great guest we have. Fresh down in Los Barriles, Baja, California, sir. It's our good buddy, Chris Moyer from Smokey's Curing Company and Cantina and the Vaquera. Such a fun show with Chris. He's so dynamic and so full of knowledge about that fantastic area. And
wonderful guy.
Down there. Oh, it's just a great guy.
And getting to know him on the show here. Like, I've never met Chris, so
Yeah.
it's kind of...
He's such a great friend.
I'll tell you what, all I have to know is he's a friend of Chris Barracks.
Yeah.
If he's a friend of Chris Barracks, he's a friend of mine.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes,
He's okay.
absolutely.
Yeah. And of course, Chris is down there, a neighbor, and works great. Has a beautiful house. Chris built his house down in Los Barriles there. And it's, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful.
One of the most beautiful houses down here.
Yeah.
Just solid. That sucker ain't going nowhere.
No, it's not going anywhere. He was explaining, we had dinner over there the other night, and he was explaining about, well, when there's a hurricane, we have the streaming, they have Starlink. Thank you very much. They have Starlink. They have their shutters up. And they have their backup generator, and they can sit there and watch sporting events or TV and just hang out and smoke, drink margaritas and smoke fish and smoke fish and whatever they want to do, they can do it right there.
Incredible.
I have hunkered down there. I have hunkered down in that guest house many a time. Let me tell you, it's like you don't miss a beat.
Yeah,
incredible,
for
incredible.
Sure. Yeah,
no, it's great host.
You need to go visit him, Cory.
I do. It sounds beautiful.
Yeah, for sure. Well, time for the catch report.
And Pete, I need to let you know about Summit Gasoline at the San Diego Sports Arena. It's the place to fill up your car, truck, and boat. They have the lowest gas and diesel prices. And did you know Summit also is the place to get the lowest prices on ice, snacks for your trip? 25 cents for your first 5-pound bag of ice. I mean, ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
25 cents or $3.99 for 25-pound bags.
25-pound bag.
As
Now,
much as you want.
I'll put this.
I was just there last week.
Yeah, the ones at the landing are $7 and they're 20 pounds.
Rick's
So think
slapping
about
your
this.
hand right now.
Think about that. $3.99 for 25 pounds at Summit Gasoline.
Crazy. And that's half the price of the others, as mentioned. Plus, you get 100 pounds of free ice.
Free ice.
Again, 100 pounds of free ice with a 35-gallon fill-up. Kirkland Products is lower than the prices at the store that makes them, and dozens of great snacks for just 89 cents and so much more. Why would you go anywhere else? It's Summit Gasoline at the San Diego Sports Arena. Check them out, man.
Lowest gas prices in town.
You will not be disappointed.
Yeah, for sure. And let's start with Captain Mark Wish, our private boater buddy, with our FishDope.com report from Pacific Edge. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Mark.
Hey, good morning, Pete, Cory, Chris. I got to tell you, Pete, when they introduced you last week as Hurricane Pedro, that really cracked me up, man. That was classic.
Anyway, I may not be as much of a hurricane as I used to be in my younger years, Mark, but I'm still trying.
You still got it. The thought that counts, buddy.
That's it.
This is great. Your new guy there, Chris, man. You're funny, dude.
Yeah.
Great listening to you.
Yeah, it's a lot to the show.
We can definitely feel fall creeping up on us here this morning. Like it's just beautiful, kind of crisp, clear, little wannabe Santa Ana trying to get going here. It's a little northeast here and there, but not much. This is not the real deal yet, but that season's coming. And but it means the weather on the outside is pretty nice right now. And for guys looking for the tuna on the outside, conditions are definitely better than they've been, although the volume of fish definitely seems to be winding down a little bit. Inside the island, hardly anything at all in terms of tuna fish. But surprisingly, a little late show on some marlins there. I didn't figure they were gone. They're usually not when the water temps are still what they are. And but the whale watch guys and the guys fishing cod on the 14 have seen a few fisher recently, and probably a few still around the east end for the guys that wants that last marlin of the season. But I'd still be checking the dolphin schools, guys. It's way too early for that yellowfin to be gone. There's very little pressure here this week, or a few reports, but no big northwest wind yet to roll the water. Soon coming, I'm sure. But the best areas would be below and outside the west end of Catalina. There's been fish there for several weeks. I doubt they're gone. Front side of Clemente, I also had a little bit of fish from the mackerel bank down towards like outside Pyramid Head. A little bit of yellowfin on the dolphins there. And then that other sector that's had some fish here recently outside the 9 down towards the Coronados and then down toward like the 371, 425 sector. And again, no guarantees. You got to hit a lot of them dolphin schools to find one that's holding, but you find the one that's holding, guys, fish good gear because, man, there's some really nice ones there. And then last week I had mentioned about fishing some of that late season yellows on the deep structure over at Catalina and Santa Barbara Island. I think I'll say that for another week or two yet. Plenty of squid around, but it got really squirrely with this big full moon we had. It's definitely around, but hard to catch. So one other thing I wanted to mention, as the season goes on a little bit, we tend to see better conditions and better fishing for that deep drop swordfish, and it looks like things are getting rolling. There's been a handful of fish in the last week or so, including one that I think was 492. The guys in the tuna twins caught just this giant.
That was the one that they weighed in at Dana Landing in Mission Bay, Mark?
Specialized, but a little bit of that getting on. So that's this week's report, and nice weather and time to go fishing, guys.
Yeah, Steve Pinard was telling me that
Jumbo
weighing in that giant. I guess it made the San Diego local news too.
It did.
Yeah, and then also they had another 250 there.
And a 209. I was there when they weighed in at 209.
Yeah. So there's swordfish around. Ricky's boat partner Neil pulled on one.
Did he get one?
2 hours.
What?
And lost it right at the boat, a jumbo one.
I have a friend that had a friend that pulled on one for over 5 hours. I don't know the end result.
That happens.
5 hours.
Yeah.
Man.
Well,
No, thank
a lot
you.
of times they don't end well.
No.
Yeah, for sure. But Mark, of course, Danny FishDope has all the stuff for us. $20 or $30 off a new membership to FishDope.com using the code Hookup Now, lowercase, no space, Hookup Now, your $30 code. And Mark, how do we find you?
Well, Pete, we're in Huntington Beach on the corner of Bolsa Chica and Edinger. And the phone at the store is 714-840-4262. The website's PacificEdgeTackle.com. And Danny from FishDope wanted me to remind you guys, those yellowfin tuna that you're seeing in the fish counts right now, unfortunately, that's not local fish. That's from the boats running down the beach there, 120 miles or so. They're getting that nice
fish
great
off a
yellowfin,
colonette,
so.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
still not that far. I mean, a day and a half and 2-day trips.
For the
and
San Diego fleet. They're still pretty
beautiful.
active. I mean, you look at the docks, they're pretty empty even here in mid-October.
Yeah.
They're running down to go get them.
And the same size fish too, I think, Mark. So it's
nice,
Yeah,
beautiful
they're
grade.
good grade. They're beauties, man.
Yeah,
I saw
yeah.
the pictures. Holy cow.
Legit.
Yeah. If you want to go really get some of those, we have our Let's Talk Hookup 7-day on the Shogun that leaves tomorrow. Ron Lane's going to be hosting it. There's still 4 spots left on that
Incredible.
trip. And I
Crazy.
guarantee you, Wahoo, incredible tuna fishing.
The Wahoo
giant
fishing
yellowtail.
right now.
Bob Dawson
Yes.
called me from the Royal Star.
Yes.
He caught a 75-pound yellowtail.
What?
He was so excited. He said,
Wow.
fish of a lifetime. Of course it is. And Bob, who's in his 80s, right? Or 80s or 70s. I mean, he's older.
Yeah.
Older than I am, but I should say I'm almost 70, right?
A lot of
But-
youth, though.
But he's got a lot of youth, but he caught a 75-pound
Incredible.
yellowtail down there at Alejos Rock on Dropper Loop.
Incredible.
Congratulations,
That's a
Bob
fish.
Dawson. That's a fish. That's a fish of a lifetime for sure. Well, hey, thanks,
Yep.
Mark. Appreciate that very much. And we'll talk to you next Saturday.
You got it. We'll see you guys.
Mark.
All right.
And we'll
Take
take it
care,
from
Mark.
there to where the yellowtail are always biting a Cedros Island and talk to Rosie. Good morning, Rosie.
Good morning, you guys. Oh my gosh, what a great show this morning. Jeff and I are sitting here listening to it, and we keep on looking back at each other going, we got to do this.
Right?
We got to go down to Los Feliz. We got to see Chris. We got to go to Smokey's. And it's like, I have so many friends and customers that live in Los Feliz or around Los Feliz. It's like, we just got to go do this. It sounds like a blast.
Yeah.
Well, you know
gotta
what's funny, and Chris will back me up on this, Chris. There was big discussion with Chris Barrick and Chris. They want to put a group of Los Barriles guys together to do a charter at Cedros Sport Fishing.
Oh.
We're gonna be
Well,
12,
let me-
Rosie. We're gonna get a 12-pack.
Oh, and that's easy. That's easy all day, every day. I've got customers that are leaving next Wednesday from Los Feliz. The guys come over to Guerrero Negro, and I fly from Guerrero Negro to the island, and then back from the island to Guerrero Negro. You know, you talk about a 20-minute flight, 25-minute flight from Guerrero Negro. I mean, it works out brilliantly for them.
Wow.
We're gonna do it, Rosie. Listen, we're gonna do it. We're gonna get. We've got a 12-pack right now, and including my 3 boys. I'm gonna bring my 3 sons. We're gonna just bring a great group of guys. Can't wait to do it. We talked. I think it was last week. Hell yeah, we're coming. And you need to come here.
I'll message you my number, and let's get together because next
For sure.
season we'll just dial you in wherever you want to be. So, okay.
How cool
Hey,
is that?
Rosie, I've got a casita here at Leonero with your and Jeff's name on it. You just come down here. We'll take care of you.
That works for me. That's so sweet. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You got it.
So how's the fishing down
well,
there,
let-
Rosie?
Well, let me tell you what Chris is going to catch when he goes on his charter next year. And I tell you what, I've been saying this all year long, and I'm still saying it. This is the season for big fish. We are continuing to catch yellowtail, 35 to 43 pound range this last week. Those guys were on dropper loop. Surface ironfish were just seemed to be a little bit smaller. I don't know if it had to do anything with the moon phase, but you know, if they were wanting the big guys, they just went a little bit deeper. Bycatch of going a little bit deeper where some of those big bass came up. The black sea bass came up. We were able to get a few to go back home, but we were able to keep a couple also. And we are literally getting ready for next season. We're down to our last 2 trips here, and we're working on getting, you know, the customers that came back yesterday. Everybody came back across the border and said, sign me up next year. Sign me up next year. This October fall fishing down there is great. The weather's a little bit cooler. A lot of anglers like that, and they all signed back up. So if you're looking to go down to Cedros next year, the time to call me is not, you know, next week. It is this week because all the trips are now starting to open up. So
Wow.
Give me a call.
All right, get on it. And how do we find you, Rosie?
The best thing to really do is, I say this every single time, but give me a call at 619-772-7570. I like to get with you and talk about, not only your fishing style, but what you like to fish for. Because, some guys want to throw Dorado in the mix where there's not going to be Dorado in June. So we kind of go through what you're looking for, and that way I can place you on the trip that is best for you. So the 619-772-7570 number is right direct to me. And you can also look at the schedule on www.cedrosportfishing.com.
All right. Thanks, Rosie. Appreciate that. We'll talk to you next Saturday.
You got it, you guys. Have a great day. Great show today.
All right.
Really
Thanks.
great
And
show.
you did a great job last Saturday. Sorry I wasn't there, but I had to be in Los Barrios.
That's okay. We missed you, but you were there in spirit.
Yes, for sure. I was listening. I was watching actually on our YouTube live channel. So that was cool.
That's the greatest thing.
Yeah.
That's the greatest thing since sliced bread.
All right. Hey, thanks, Rosie. Talk to you next Saturday. And
You got it.
we're missing Marcos.
We are.
But that wraps up our catch report.
It does. And I need to remind you the catch report is sponsored by the Fish Pros at Fisherman's Processing in San Diego, where you get your premier processing experience. Check out the easier online system to book your processing for your long-range trips. And with more team members, Fisherman's Processing stays far ahead of the rest, and more same-day capacity and the finest customer service. Stop by their location in Old Town on Taylor Street, or you can check them out at fishmansprocessing.com and make sure you make your reservations today.
For sure. Let's go jump back into those phones. They're packed up. They want to talk to Chris.
And let's go to line 3. And I think is it Lost Brian? I think we'll let this gentleman tell us, but he's in Baja, sir. Good morning. It's Los something. Is it Los? Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And-
This is Mark, Kugel's brother-in-law.
Oh, okay. Good morning, Mark.
I'm sitting
How you
here,
doing?
I'm sitting here on my roof looking at Chris Barrick's house.
All right.
Beautiful day. It's nice and warm. I just wanted to give kudos to Chris Moyer. I already picked up the fish. It was done perfect. I had wahoo last night, and I told him yesterday, I think the day before yesterday, that he's doing a great job. I keep him straight, to see if what he's saying is really the truth. And he's been.
He does watch
on.
me. He watches me close. He makes sure I'm on.
Well, it was great to have you being a part of the tournament, Mark, and great to see, of course, your wife. And you guys are San Diego transplants. You moved lock, stock, and barrel, built a house down there, and now living full time down in the town, right?
Yeah, all in.
Oh,
in.
cool.
We made the move. We got the blessing from our children. We said, go for it.
That's so cool.
Well, that's good stuff, Mark. And I'm sure you're keeping.
by the way,
yeah.
Yeah. Well, Chris, put me in on that trip to Cedros.
Yeah.
You got it, buddy. Hey, man, it's filling up fast. I should just call Rosie now and just say book it. And
Book
we'll fill it.
You should.
Honestly.
You should
I
pick
love
your
Rosie.
favorite time and just go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got
to work around my boys. Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll get a caravan, man. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
I can't wait. We're gonna do it.
Hey, Mark, great to hear from you. Thanks for participating in our 30th annual, and I hope you're going to be back for the 31st, right?
Yes.
All right.
Thanks for the costas.
All right, great. All right, glad you got them. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. I want to mention, there's so many. It's such a community down there in Los Barrios. I want to mention another one of our friends, and that is Jimmy from Can Do Rentals, Chris, who you introduced me to. We rented a quad and a side-by-side from Jimmy. He gives all of our listeners a special Let's Talk Hookup price. There's several people down there that rent quads. There's the quad girl and the quad man and the dude, whatever.
The dude.
But the guy you want to rent from in Los Barriles is Can Do. All of his gear is meticulously maintained. He buys a lot of new gear, and he gives our listeners a special discount when they mention Let's Talk Hookup too. So
how about that?
And I know you're personal friends with Jimmy, right?
Oh yeah, Jimmy and me. I just saw him yesterday. Yeah, Jimmy and me are real good buddies. We have a special bond. He and I, as well as Aldo, we won the drama shootout one year about 5 years ago.
That's right.
We always will have that special bond that we're campeones, as they say.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's great. He's great.
And his gear is the best. And
yeah.
he very fair prices, and you get an even better price by mentioning Let's Talk Hookup. But that's one of the cool things about the East Cape is that you can still ride on the beach down there.
So cool.
You can go up to the waterfalls, and you can actually jump in the arroyos. You can drive up the Punta Pescadero and go have lunch and snorkel, which is something we did while we were down there. There's a pool, and you can do a guided trip up with one of the guys, Nacho, or one of the other guys that works for Jimmy's, and they'll do a guided trip up to San Bartolo, which is the town. What is it? Maybe 20 minutes outside of Los Barriles, Chris?
Yeah, it's not far.
Yeah, and you can do a guided trip on the quads in back roads up to San Bartolo, and then jump into a natural hot spring pool that they have up there. That is like the perfect temperature and just a super cool place. And and then go have a really cool, like real true Mexican cafe lunch with them. And so that's
incredible.
Something you definitely want to spend a day at least doing is
I don't know,
renting the quads or the side by sides from Jimmy at Can Do and do that. It's a special thing.
Matter of fact, Pedro and Cory, you said community. Well, I have probably, I don't know, up to 30 friends. They're taking a quad trip and they're going up the coast to Pescadero, to Cardinal, and we've got a little place. We go eat pizza there and all that. But unfortunately, I got to work and go get 300 kilos of brisket. But they're going to have a good time doing just what you're talking about. And you do it. You go up to the arroyos. You go to the waterfalls. You head out to the Pescadero, do a little bit, take a little swim there, and then head over to Cardinal. It's a great day, man. Honestly, it's so fun.
It is super fun. Yeah, for sure.
Pete talked about eating at the end of the ride, but man, I'm looking forward to the Smokey's ribs.
Oh,
man.
yeah. No, we can stop at Smokey. That's a tradition on the way back to Palmas de Cortez. You just stop at Smokey's.
Typical margarita.
Yeah.
The ribs.
Yeah.
That's all I can think about, Chris.
Hey, Quentin in Fontana has a question for you, Chris. He texted us via the Let's Talk Hookup app, and he says, "Good morning, guys. Great show as always, Chris. Is there a favorite way you like to seasonings you prefer to smoke bluefin collars? Any tips and recipes you can share on smoking like a collar or just tuna in general?"
It's a good question.
It's funny because what we do is because we're so commercial. Like, can you imagine? Like, it's hard enough when you get four guys coming off the boat and they're like, oh, these are my, I want 25% of my catch fresh and I want 75% smoked. If we started doing flavors, and stuff like that, it would be just too much of a madhouse. But like I said, we do that standard brine, which is just sea salt, brown sugar, and honey. It's a nice commercial brine, but we have done some stuff on the side. Like we've done a tuna jerky with we've done a spicy tuna jerky, and we've done a teriyaki tuna jerky and just a regular smoke. But I do want to. We're playing around with the flavors more with the meat because you can just play around with it more, but. Yeah, we pretty much just do the standard. What we do is, the flavors come in really a lot from the wood. And what we do with our wood is we use a sugar maple. We take a sugar maple and we mix it with hickory for that, that little boost. But it's about 25% hickory and 75% sugar maple. And you want a mild smoke for your fish. You don't want to overpower the fish. Like you'd never use like mesquite or anything like that for fish. We use the harder woods, the stronger woods for like the meat. But that nice subtle, we put that hickory gives it a little nice color and a little bit of a boost. But unfortunately, with we haven't been able to, really, we don't do a lot of flavors with the collars and everything. We just smoke them. But I just smoked some fish for a buddy in Cabo, and he had the collars, and we smoked it up. He's loving it.
Yeah. So I might mention this too, is that I think they still do at Fisherman's Processing, they sell a brine mix that if you're curious about how to, and brine's pretty easy, I guess, to make your own, like Chris gave a recipe earlier in the show.
And
But if
just
you want to,
simple
but if
brown
you want to
sugar.
just get the brine mix at Fisherman's Processing, call them up and make sure they still have it. Because I know they eliminated a lot of their spices and rubs and stuff,
Yeah.
but I think they still have the brine mix at Fisherman's Processing. You just buy it there and do it right then. So, hey, let's go ahead and jump back in the phones.
Let's do it. Let's talk to Sam and Irvine. And before we do talk to Sam, I just wanted to say that Danny at FishDope texted us and said that Jason Hayashi, he had been waiting for a kidney for 6+ years. And he'd finally found a donor, and he's
Really?
got surgery, and it's on the 17th, and all is going to go well.
Oh,
and,
that is so huge.
looks
Congratulations,
like
Jason.
It's going to be with us for a while
Yeah,
longer.
he's been waiting years.
Over
for his
6+
kidney.
years. Yeah. So I just wanted to throw that in.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So we don't have Sam and Irvine any longer, but we do have Jack and Del Mar. Good morning, Jack. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, guys. This is Jack.
Good morning,
Hey,
Jack.
Cory,
Hey, Jack.
Can you hear me?
We got you, Jack.
Cory, you and I went up with Valerie at Queen Charlotte.
Oh, yeah, right. It's such a great time. Are you signed up for next year?
You betcha.
Yeah, man.
You
What
bet. Yeah, that was good stuff. Love you, Valerie, if you're listening. And I'm really just blessed. I'm Dart's cousin and Robbie Fletcher.
Oh, yeah,
He
right.
donated a bunch. Yeah, he donated a bunch of great stuff to Rollo. Robbie did recently. God bless him.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. And so I really miss Rancho Leonero already. And thank you, Chris, for coming on today. And the guys down there at Las Palmas. But where can I go with the feel and the atmosphere of Rancho Leonero? Maybe, Chris, that's one of your casitas or something. do you have something like that?
You know, I mean, Chris, I know you live down there, but I got to say that if Palmas de Cortez, I love Palmas de Cortez, a lot of facility and stuff, but it is big. But right next door, not far away, it's Playa del Sol. And Playa del Sol has that small world feel to it, right, Chris?
I was going to say the same thing. Yeah. If you're, because Punta Colorado is no longer there, I would recommend that, but it's no longer there either. So Rancho Leonero is maybe one of the last of a dying breed. But yeah, right there, you can still get that small resort atmosphere at Playa del Sol right there.
Yeah, definitely.
Righto.
Yeah.
I certainly miss the largest palapa in all of Baja.
Yeah. Well, we all miss Rancho Leonero, but tune in mid-November. We have John Ireland coming on for 2 hours in the studio and to reminisce about some great stuff there. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning as we watch the searcher backing in on our outdoor camera there. Which
Actually,
is
they're
pretty
taking
cool.
off.
No, they're just backing in back from the fuel dock. So
Oh, the
I want to
XL
mention before we take a break, we were just talking about Rollo, and he mentioned giving a bunch of donations. So one of our participants in our tournament, and you'll relate to this, Chris, because I know you donate a lot to Captain Rollo's Kids at Sea and taking kids fishing. John Marks and his crew, they caught 150-pound tuna in the tournament. And it was like, there was nothing even close to that. It was like 30, 40-pound tuna. And then here comes this 150-pounder, right, Chris? It was pretty crazy. They won third place in the tournament. They also won the Big Fish Rich Prize that Peggy Top and Jerry Top donated $1,000.
Incredible.
And they won that $1,000 Big Fish Rich. Well, and then he won $400 of the $1,000 from Statewide Stripes. Dave over at Statewide Stripes donated $1,000, and we divided it up into different places. He donated that $400 to Rollo. And that is so cool. And so he's going to take at least 4 kids fishing with that, which is really, really great. And if you want to donate, like John, It's super easy. He contacted me during the week. He says, I want to donate some of this money to Captain Rollo's Kids at Sea. And easy to do. You just go to CaptainRollos.org, Captain ROLLOS.org, and there's a little button that says donate now. And you just click that, you make your donation, and
done deal. Simple.
Yeah.
Or you can come down to Tackle Day and buy some of this stuff too
Right.
and donate there.
2 weeks from today.
2 weeks.
Tackle Day at
Yes.
Fisherman's Island. You'll be there, right,
I
Cory?
will, yes.
Yeah, and you'll be selling baits and
Absolutely.
hanging out with people. We'll be
Huge
broadcasting live from Tackle Day, Rick and myself, and we'll probably drag over Cory a little bit too. But that's going to be a big day. It's 2 weeks from today at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego, and Rollo will have a huge presence at Tackle Day. The pick a box, Mike Lum and Tim Baker will have a ton of stuff going on. So you can donate at Tackle Day coming up 2 weeks from today.
Incredible. Can't believe it. Hey, we're going to be right back. Hang tight there, Chris. When we return, we're going to have more with the Let's Talk Hookup app and the Sports Grid Radio Network.
Hey, this is Captain Benny Florentino, owner-operator of Coastal Charters. Just want to announce that I'll be running the Camus 26 hybrid boat from West Coast Marine in Costa Mesa. Hybrid being a center console with boat features. The boat features a Michael Peters stepped hull that'll give both myself and my guests a comfortable dry ride. West Coast Marine in Costa Mesa will be carrying the 26 hybrid, 28 hybrid, and also a 34 cat. Heck, they even have some great looking bass boats. If you have any other questions, feel free to call Nick Kelly or Kyle Mesa at West Coast Marine in Costa Mesa, and we'll see you on the water.
Take it from Captain Benny Florentino. West Coast Marine in Costa Mesa is your source for Camus boats as well as Parker boats, Yamaha outboards, and now Mercury outboards. Sales and service, the finest you can find. Go see Nick and the guys at West Coast Marine on Newport Boulevard in Costa Mesa, or check westcoastmarine.com.
Hey, this is Rosie with Cedros Sport Fishing. We have always been the leader with all-inclusive fishing trips to Cedros Island. We now have 2 lodges to choose from, and both sit on the cliffs edge with relaxing ocean views and gorgeous morning sunrises. With direct flights departing to the CBX in San Diego, we are committed to providing first-class service to our guests and an unforgettable fishing experience. Come check out the yellowtail and calico bass capital in the world. Nobody does it better than Cedros Sport Fishing. Call me at 619-772-7570 or check us out at cedrosportfishing.com. Book soon. Trips are going fast.
Saturday, November 2nd is Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. Seminars by saltwater expert, great deals on tackle, top tackle reps like AFTCO, Psycho Pro Fluorocarbon, and incredible deals on AFTCO clothing. Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing, Saturday, November 2nd.
Hi, this is Christy Wheeler with Dawson and Associates Insurance, your full-service agency specializing in boat insurance, including charter, commercial, and personal use boats, business insurance, and travel insurance. We work hard to get you the most coverage for the best prices and guarantee the lowest rates available on all the travel plans we offer. So give us a call today at Dawson and Associates Insurance at 619-460-5615 for a free quote today.
24 years ago, I visited this amazing place called Haida Archipelago. I just could not get enough of these amazing islands, natural beauty, friendly people, and phenomenal fishing. I knew I had to spend more time there. Moving forward to today, here I am, a fishing lodge owner. Hi, this is Valerie Hilprich from Queen Charlotte Safaris in beautiful Haida Gwaii Islands, British Columbia, Canada. We are a boutique lodge just steps from the Sandspit Harbor, offering a truly unique fishing adventure. Our fishing is world class. You will fish for king salmon, halibut, lingcod, and much more. Our fishing grounds are untouched, unspoiled, and surrounded by stunning scenery. We are dedicated to making your adventure an experience that will be a lifetime of memories. We will welcome you as friends, and you will leave as part of the Queen Charlotte Safaris family. You will come for the fishing, and you'll come back for the memories. We are booking now. Please give me a call at 1-877-815-2892, or check us out on Instagram, Facebook, or our website, qcsafaris.com.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. And Chris, it's been so cool just hanging with you for a couple hours.
Everybody's raving about this show, and
talking good times.
Chris kind of stepped in. We originally had Nick from West Coast Marine booked for today, and
couldn't make it,
and he had a conflict,
so
he couldn't make it. So I called up Chris. Chris, you want to talk about the East Cape next Saturday? You kind of went, oh, okay. But we got to do this more often, man.
I know it's talking good times, and
Hey,
dude,
I'm Plan B, but I'm happy to be here.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
no, we're thrilled to have you. And
Thank you guys.
right now we have a great live report from our good buddy Mike from the Tribute. Good morning, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, good morning, guys. I was holding out for the phone call, but we got fish on board to call about.
Yeah, I gotta love that. Tell us about it.
So we did something a little different. There had, as some of you guys I'm sure know, there's been some really nice great yellowfin around. We got down here, really good sight of fish this morning. Stopped on a few schools, but just got a triple jig strike. The first fish that came over the rail was like a 70-pound yellowfin. They're jumbos. I think we had eight or so going. We've landed 3. I can look at 3 up here in the bow, and I think we got 2. They're trophies. I mean, anything short of the rocks or ridge, that's pretty unheard of for
Crazy.
this quality of fish up here. But we're not going to complain one bit. There's been some good bluefin fishing as well. Jimmy got in 2 days ago on a bluefin trip. We had 40 bluefin for 23 anglers. So I know we've been talking about it, but it's finally here. It's flat, greasy, calm, sunny, and the fish are biting.
Yes, and jig strikes.
Dude, you gotta love that, and choices. So you can go west or south and have epic grade fishing, right? And flat, calm weather.
And a 3-way jig strike.
Yeah, we have a trip leaving tomorrow night. Pizza Sport concert trip. We only have 12 people. When we did this last week, our 12 people had limits of bluefin and limits of red. So
wow.
Weather looks like it's going to be great. Whether we come down here or we go out west, the guys out west are catching a little bit of fish this morning as well. I know it was lumpy out there for a couple of days. But this is pretty amazing. The 2 fish I see at color up here in the bow are both 60, 70 pounders.
Oh,
incredible!
Man. When do you make that decision, Mike? Which way you're going to go?
It all depends on what happens today. We're off to a great start. The guys that have been down here have had good fishing, but literally, it's the size of the fish is what's making it hard. The first troll fish that came over the boat, like I said, was like a 70-pounder. That's a tough one to land, whether it's bluefin or yellowfin on 30 or 40 pounds.
Yeah, especially a yellowfin. So, what do you recommend if they're going south? What do you recommend people bringing and fish with?
I would bring the same for both.
Okay.
Getting ready to gaff one of these things here. 25 to 40 pound for your fly line setups. If these things bite or if they decide to eat a jig, 50, 60 pound setup, then depending on what happens, 100 pound setup. Or now that I think I did my first trolling rotation of the year this morning. So if you have your own trolling gear, make sure it's 100 pounds.
Wow.
Incredible.
Well, we'll let you get back down there and help gaff that 70-pounder, Mike. But in the meantime, if somebody wants to go fishing on the Tribute, how do we get a hold of you and what's the schedule?
Tomorrow night, Seaforth Landing, 619-224-3383. SeaforthLanding.com, TributeSportFishing.com. And I just posted a picture of our jig fish up so you can see the size. And just the quality of these things is pretty gnarly. I'll have some more pictures following here. We can, just one at color on the port side right now. Same thing. It looks like you're anchored up at Guadalupe. These things are jumbos.
Jeez, that's fantastic. And day and a half range.
Incredible.
And Mike, I'll be in touch with you real soon. It's about time you come into the studio and join us.
It is. And with this kind of fishing, there's going to be plenty to talk about. So tomorrow night, Seaforth Landing, light load, Pizza Sport sponsored trip, nice weather. Fish are biting. Let's go.
All right. Sounds great. Appreciate the check, Mike. And get on there, light load and biting fish and flat, calm weather. My gosh.
Count me in.
If this was in June or July, the boat would have 30 people plus,
It's
and you're going to go
incredible.
fishing with like 15 people.
100%.
Yeah.
And I had a piece of that yellowfin.
Yeah.
From last week, and
Yeah.
let me it is so fatty and delicious.
Ooh, man.
It is the best yellowfin I've had in a long time.
Ooh, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Mike, thanks for the check and appreciate it. Keep getting them, man, and we'll talk to you real soon. Let us know how you do. Give us a call tomorrow and let us know how it went. All right. Thanks a lot.
Man.
Hey, a lot of great texts, a lot of great phone calls, and I have a great text there I want to read, and it's from Huey in Torrance. He says, after my vacuum pack, if I get my vacuum packed fish from East Cape Smokies. How do you load the packed fish and get it home? I think that's a good question, Chris.
It is.
Yeah, it's a good question. We have fish boxes, so we've got plenty of fish boxes, a couple different sizes. We've got a 50-pound box that we can get you on the airline right at 50 pounds. Then we've got another box that'll hold about 17, 18 pounds, and that one can be carried on as well as checked. But yeah, we've got everything you need regarding that, and I've got all the boxes. We've been doing this for many years with the boxes, and I got them approved with all the airlines many years ago, so there's no problem checking them, and that's how you get it home.
It sounds simple, and
and you can bring your own cooler if you want, but you don't have to anymore.
There's no
right?
need.
Well, the thing about bringing your own cooler, I mean, the problem is
the weight.
Your cooler, I can get 48 pounds in the 50-pound box, whereas in your cooler I can get
40
because you want to be in a 50-pound range, so I can get 35 pounds in this. So you get more fish in the fish boxes.
Yeah, much better.
I mean, you don't have to lug the cooler down.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll just do it the way you do it, Chris. It sounds perfect, man.
Yeah, it's a one-stop shop, man. We take care of everything.
Yeah, because that styrofoam, those fish boxes are so light that you can pack it full, and you think you're doing right by bringing your ultra Gucci triple thick cooler, but it darn thing weighs 15 to 20 pounds on its own.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the point. And you want to bring home more fish. And those fish, we also have there's a bubble line bag that we put in the box. So the box is insulated with that. Yeah, I've driven the Baja for 2 days, and the fish is still frozen in those things.
I've brought back fish in his cooler bag. It's great.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
a
number one. In fact,
home,
when you get home, you can use it as a cooler. You can, can. Yeah, it's a great box, and they're pretty reasonable, right? I mean, what's the box cost?
$35.
Yeah.
And it's the small boxes are $17, $35. But yeah, you're paying that bringing a cooler down.
Absolutely. As extra luggage. Yeah, no doubt about it, for sure. Yeah. Cliff in Blossom Valley has an interesting question. I hear so much about wind from December to April in the East Cape. Is it still nice to come to Los Barriles from December to April while wanting to go do some fishing? I keep wanting to visit, but July and August are so hot. So, Chris, give us the lowdown on kind of fishing in the winter in the East Cape.
That's a great question. And here's the thing. We are world-class, literally world-class kiteboarding from basically the end of November through April. Yes, we do get wind. So but the issue is, like, us locals, we just look at the wind reports. We're like, hey, next Thursday, Friday, the wind's going to die down and we fish. And the fishing's great. But so it's hard to plan, unless you're going to come down. If you're going to come down for a couple weeks, then for sure you're going to be able to get some fishing in. Usually it's not going to blow for 2 weeks, all right? But by the way, even when it does blow, fishing's okay. I mean, especially if you're on Vaquera and that seakeeper.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. And a lot of times it doesn't blow to the afternoon, so you can fish the morning, right?
Yeah.
Do like a half day.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, the fishing. So yeah, if you want to come down and hang out for a couple weeks, it's great, and you're going to get some good fishing in. And it's just, when the wind's blowing, it's a little bit unpleasant out there. But I mean, it's still, like I said, us locals, we plan our fishing around the wind, and we just go, hey, the wind's going to lay down. And those wind reports are amazingly accurate. So we're like, hey, we'll week out. Next Thursday and Friday, we're going to fish, and we do it.
And
so to answer this question, come down if you have, 10 days, even a week to 2 weeks. Yeah, for sure. You're going to be able to come down. The weather's beautiful. It's great. And come down and do some fishing, man. I say go for it.
And you've got Smokies to always fall back onto, right? I mean, what's the deal?
You got to fall back.
And you can quad if you're a pickleball player. Now there's there's going to be 2 pickleball resorts, not only at Palmas de Cortez, but the other.
The first thing I thought about when you said that, Pete, was the pickleball courts is our world famous Brandon Bono.
Oh,
world
yeah.
famous fisherman.
And now he's like Mr. Pickleball.
Oh, dude, he's turning pro. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to get him down there in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's as you know, Chris, I mean, talk about the difference between winter and summer down there as far as the population in Los Barriles. It's crazy, isn't it?
Well, right now, see, we have a huge population of gringos, which are made up of Americans and Canadians. So they all leave, May-ish. They'll leave in May when it starts getting hot, and they go home. and it's also hurricane season late in the summer. And they start coming back basically now to the end of October, early November, and our town just gets packed. I mean, it's crazy. I just thinking back. I mean, Pedro, you've been coming down here for 30 years. It's crazy how busy this place gets and how packed the town gets. So, and it's the weather, winter. You call it winter, but it's basically perfect. It's perfect. Perfect temperature, perfect climate during the so-called winter down here.
Yeah.
And
No, and
I mean,
there's a lot
the
of
water's still warm. You can swim. The water's still warm. God.
We don't,
great.
and you know what was interesting too, Chris, is we were fortunate enough to go dive. Chris Barrick and my friend Mark and John. We went down to Cabo Pulmo and went for a scuba dive on Sunday.
Wow.
That was, I've dove there many times.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the best. The visibility was over 100 feet.
Whoa.
Giant grouper, over 100 pounds. Giant Pargo, over
Wow.
50 pounds, right in our face. We drove right in the middle of the Jack School. We saw, bull sharks from the surface because it was so clear.
Yeah.
It was a spectacular dive, and it's a spectacular diving place. But the guy that was on the boat with us, they take 5 on the boat, and Cabo Pulmo divers, Pilu down there is the best. They're the ones to go with.
And you have to have reservations.
You have to, especially in October.
Yeah.
But the guy that went with us as a fifth, because they take 5 per boat, very, very regulated, by the way. He said his favorite time to go is in the winter because he says there's nobody there. You got to put a little bit of wetsuit on. Now, the water was 86 at 50 feet when I was there. So, it was pretty warm and it was beautiful, but no wetsuit necessary. But in the winter, it cools down in the low 70s, right, Chris? Something like that. Yeah. But he said that's some of his favorite time. Clearest water and nobody there.
That's a pro tip.
And that's a real pro tip. So that's another option in the winter is if you're a scuba diver, you go down to Cabo Pulmo, you can easily get a reservation.
There's a lot to do.
And it's snorkeling and then the quad rides you can rent from Can Do, Jimmy, and still go to the waterfalls and stuff.
So even with that winter time, I mean, if fishing isn't like the deal, could you still shore fish and come down and enjoy Smokies and do it that way, Chris? I mean, is there still an adventure for a family to go have fun?
You can get, the rooster fish bite isn't really happening in the wintertime, but
right.
Sierra. And by the way, I've seen guys catch even yellowtail. It's rare, but I mean, Sierra, right there on the shore, which are delicious. Spanish mackerel.
Oh yeah.
And, there's fishing. That's what it's a misconception that there's it's literally fishing year round. There's something to fish for year round.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of working around the wind. But I've been out on a windy day and I've caught plenty of fish.
Yeah.
It's not as, but let me tell you, it's a lot more pleasant when you're on like about like Vaquera. You've got the stereo, you got the salon, you got the rack of ribs you're eating, and and the seakeeper.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be afraid to come down in the wintertime and fish.
No. And it's interesting too, because everything opens up because it's the busiest time of the year down there. You wouldn't think that it is, but so all the restaurants, all the bars, everything's hopping. It's a happening place.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. Hey, I have a text from Ken in Del Mar, and he wants to know more about smoking since you're the expert at Smokies. Great show. Not to burn up the fish smoking subject, but does Chris rinse off the fish before forming the pinnacle or like drying
a glaze?
it?
No. Well, we sanitize it. We sanitize the fish in a sort of it's a salt ice, just a salt ice brine. So we'll sanitize it and then we brine it. Okay.
So wait a minute. So you dip it into a salt ice by sanitize it? Okay.
Yeah, we're just cleaning it.
I see.
And that's what we do before we vacuum fresh too. So it's clean. And then what we'll do is we'll brine it, and according to thickness. So the thicker fish will be maybe an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, down to say a Sierra would be like maybe 30 minutes. Now, I'll say I should have been more clear about our brine. So our salt content is really high because we're doing a quick brine. So our salt content, we started at about 50% salinity, really salty, but it's a quick brine. And then we would get our fish tested we got our fish tested in the States, to see if and there's something called water phase salt, and you want to be within a certain range, and our fish was right in the middle, perfect for for commercial purposes. So that's the USDA requirement. And then so we were right in the middle, so we backed the salt content off a little bit. Maybe we're like 40% salinity, and you measure with a hydrometer. But anyway, yeah, so you brine it, and then you put it on the rack. You put it on the smoking racks in the cooler, in the walk-in cooler, overnight. And that's sort of drying it and it's getting cured. And then so like if you were to touch it in the morning with the, it would be tacky, sticky. And that's your pellicle. And that means your fish is ready to accept smoke, man.
There you go.
And then the smoke.
Man, that's so awesome. And when we come back, we're going to wrap things up here on Let's Talk Hookup and talk more to Chris. Stay tuned. This is Let's Talk Hookup on Let's Talk Hookup app, 1090 AM, Sports Grid Radio Network, YouTube and Facebook Live.
Hi, this is Tommy the Fishmonger from Tunaville Market and Grocery and the TV show Fishmonger. I've known Yusuf Husseini for over 20 years, and he's the expert when it comes to real estate. He's helped me with estate planning and multiple estate questions that the average guy like myself just doesn't understand. Yusuf's not only a fellow angler, but he's an amazing realtor that specializes in helping us in the angling community find their ultimate home. If you own a home, get a free, no obligation home evaluation now online from Yusuf by typing in SoCalHomeEval.com. All you do is put in your address and you'll get that report fast. Yusuf is a SoCal real estate guy to go to. He's helped me and many of my customers and family members to find what they are looking for in a home. He understands the real estate market like no other, so take it from Tommy the Fishmonger. Yusuf's the real deal when it comes to your real estate needs. Go to SoCalHomeEval.com and I'll see you at Tunaville Market and Grocery.
Saturday, November 2nd is Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. Come see seminars by saltwater experts, great deals on tackle from Shimano like Terramar rods with TC4 blank construction. Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing, Saturday, November 2nd.
Gamakatsu is not just all about hooks. There's so much more, including the new Gamakatsu fillet knives. Once you try one, you'll always want more. The new tools are also very special, including the Gamakatsu braid scissors made with ceramic blades so they'll never rust. Check out the new lineup of shirts and hats, and of course, Gamakatsu fishing pliers and boxes are amazing. Gamakatsu, much more than just the best hooks. Get them at your local tackle shop or at gamakatsu.com.
When it comes to fishing rods for saltwater, there's just one name you need to know, CalStar. Take, for example, the Graphiter series. It's a true graphite and fiberglass composite rod, the finest it's ever been built. And for anglers seeking traditional performance, durability, and quality at an affordable price, the CalStar West Coast series of rods and blanks are the ones for you. Their master craftsmen bring decades of rod building experience to every rod they make. So if you want your fishing rods to be truly state-of-the-art, I always recommend CalStar at fine tackle stores everywhere.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. And your San Diego County Ford dealers is the place to start with a full lineup of vehicles and available powertrains. Get your ideal combination of power and capability with gas, hybrid, or all electric. But more important than the power you choose is what you choose to do with it. Visit your San Diego County Ford dealers today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. We're going to flip the coin, figure out, it goes to a texter.
Yeah, texter.
Quentin in Fontana.
All right, you win that San Diego trip. Congratulations. That's awesome, man.
He's stoked.
And Chris, thank you so much for spending 2 hours with us. We love your reports every Saturday at 7:30 on Let's Talk Hookup. Keep up the good work. And if somebody wants to book Vaquera or come to Smokey's, give us the details.
Well, for now, just get a hold of me at vaquerasportfishing.com or email me at bahasmokedog with 2 G's at gmail.com.
All right, Baja Smoke Dog, DOGG at gmail.com.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's it. And then come to Smokey's, right? Watch all, if you're headed down there now, watch all the sporting events and have the best
We'll
fun.
take care of all your fish. We'll take care of we'll feed you. We'll quench your pie hole. We will take care of everything. Get on down here.
Oh yeah. And here's the thing. We didn't talk about your smoked meats a lot. You mentioned them, but they're good.
Oh, you got me.
Yeah. I'm telling you.
You got my attention.
I mean, the shrimp, the smoked fish, best shrimp taco around. Smoked fish. My friend Mark, the shrimp brochetta at the restaurant, number one. And you use these giant shrimp in there too, which is It's
Killing
just
me.
so good.
Hey, and then the Ichiban.
I forgot all about the Ichiban.
that
Ichiban is
seared
the
ahi.
best. The seared ahi that he does.
Okay, I got my lunch. I got my dinner figured
and,
out.
And fantastic margaritas and a great staff. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you next Saturday. Hey, thank you, Cory, for being here today.
Awesome.
And thanks to Chris on the phones and the board. And thanks to Adam for all he does on the Let's Talk Hookup app and all the good guys down in Mexico helping us out on 1090 AM and all the good people at Sports Grid. We sure appreciate all you do. Tomorrow, Bruce Smith from East County Bait and Tackle and the Bass Council will be here. That's going to be fun. It's just going to be me and Bruce tomorrow. That'll be fun, but it's going to be a great show. 7 to 9 a.m. right back here on the Let's Talk Hookup Sports Grid Radio Network, YouTube, Facebook Live, and 1090 a.m. See you then.